Have you ever wanted a way to move air around your wood stove without having a fan that uses electricity? Well, today, welcome to Do It Yourself with Wayne, and I'm going to do a product review on this Gala Fire wood stove fan. It sits on top of your wood stove, and the heat from the stove makes the fan run. So today I'm going to demonstrate the fan. We're going to talk about pros and cons, and we're also going to show you what all comes in the box, which basically is the fan. But it also comes with one of these little temperature gauges that you can set on top of your stove so you know what the temperature of your stove is. All right, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the temperature gauge on my stove and let it start heating up and come into temperature. And for the fan, the only thing you have to do is set it on top of your stove, position it the way you want it positioned. Now in my case, I'm just going to have it kind of angled toward the camera so you can see how it works. As you can see, it's not turning right now. I had it outside a little while ago just to let it cool off so it would quit running, because it was running. So I'm just going to set it right there. And in the past, it didn't take very long for it to start running. So let's see how long it takes. It also says on the back of the fan, there's a warning. It says keep 4 inches away from the stovepipe. So you don't want it right next to your stovepipe. That could interfere with the heat. My stove's hot, from the fans up here at the top, which could affect whether it runs or not. All right, I can see it starting to turn now, and there we go. And as it comes up to the temperature of the stove, it'll speed up a little bit more than that. And the hotter your stove is, the faster it will run. We'll demonstrate that shortly. Currently, right now, my stove is not very hot. The temperature gauge there is up to 150, but I think it's probably going to go a little bit hotter. For my first test, I'm running the fan right now, and I did turn it so that you can see my piece of paper towel here. The stove temperature, according to the gauge, is maybe just a hair under 200 degrees. And as you can see, there's no airflow here. And you can see the fan is moving air. I mean, that shows you that air is moving. There it's not. Let me turn that around because it's curved a little bit. There the paper towel curves into the fan a little bit. And as I come across in front of it, you can see that the fan is blowing air. So it does work. All right, now I'm going to stoke up the stove, get it hotter, and we'll see what happens. At this point, my stove is up just a hair over 300 degrees. As you can see, no air movement there. In front of the fan, it's moving air. Couple of things I do want to show you right quick. I told you I'd show you what comes in the box. There's also a card that comes with a thermometer that tells you basically how to use it. Basically, you put it on top of the stove. But I always warn people, read especially the warning labels and instructions on use that comes with anything you purchase. There may be something there that you don't know, even though you may have had similar products. And this is the manual that comes with the fan. It gives you certain instructions. It tells you to place it on the hottest part of your stove, to turn it so that it moves air freely, that the air flow isn't obstructed. It tells you, and I also mentioned earlier about the warning on the back, it said if you get close to your stovepipe, it may not work, because the fan runs in relation to the temperature difference between the base of the fan and the fins up at the top. It'll also warn you not to pick it up when it's hot. Seems like a duh, but it's good to read those warnings anyway. It tells you not to touch the fan, it can hurt you. Well, it hasn't hurt me, but just be aware that the fan blades could possibly hurt you. I think the bigger warning is if your stove is good and hot, just be careful how you pick it up if you need to move it. Because it can be really hot, you may want to use gloves when you move it. So now we're going to let the stove heat on up. We're going to test it again. But at this point, I'd really like to say that we appreciate you visiting, and it would really help us if you would click like on this video and subscribe to our channel. Those things really help us to grow, to bring you more videos. All right, let's move on along. Now at this point, my stove is up to about 450 degrees. And as I bring my paper towel in front of the fan, it's definitely blowing more air now after it got hot. So that shows that as the stove gets hotter, it moves more air, which I think is a good thing. So let's let it get a little bit hotter. I don't want to get my stove too much hotter than that because it's already pretty hot in my living room. I don't want to burn myself up in here. But I'll let it get a little bit hotter and then we'll test it again. At this point, my stove is up to 600 degrees, which is about the maximum that they say this fan should be allowed to heat up to. And I'm about to burn up sitting here, so it's going to have to be quick. But to put the paper towel in front of the fan now, as you can see, it's blowing a lot more than it was before. No air movement over here. There's a little bit over there. But it blows real good right in front of the fan. And like before, there's almost no air there, but there is a little bit. But blows real good right there. So now I'm going to turn my fan down because I don't want this thing running this hot. I don't like to run my stove at 600 degrees. So I'm going to let it cool down some, and then I'll be back with my final review. And now for my final review. I think it's a good value. I don't think it's a great value. I paid $53 for this at Amazon, and there will be a link in the description if you want your own. But long term, you don't have to pay for electricity for it to run. I do have a small electric fan that's about the same size. I probably gave $15, $20 for it. So it's a lot less expensive, but long term I got to pay for electricity for it to run. So I think this is a good value, maybe just not a great value. I wish it moved more air, but it does move air for free. So anyway, I like it. That's my bottom line. So anyway, if you enjoy this video, please click like on it, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel. Those things really help us to grow, to bring you more value, more videos, to help save you money and learn about products and things of that nature. So at this point, I'd just like to say thank you for visiting Do It Yourself with Wayne, and we hope you have a great day.